a mysterious 60-foot hole appeared on the side of Mount Shasta. Over 10 years ago, a random hole appeared on the side of Mount Shasta, seemingly overnight. It was built using a simple makeshift pulley system and reached about 60 feet deep. It was as if someone tried to dig into the volcano, which surprised the locals and Forest Service. The offenders had only left behind a few buckets, a smart water bottle, and a ladder to signify their presence. For the past decade, locals and mystery enthusiasts have been trying to figure out the reason and cause for this strange hole. There are currently 3 main theories to explain it. The first theory is related to the legend of Lemuria. Some town inhabitants believe that there is a lost continent underneath Mount Shasta called Lemuria, with its capital city, Telos. It is named after the word lemur, because an English zoologist in the 19th century theorized that the lemurs traveled to Madagascar from India using this lost continent. For some reason, it ended up buried underneath a mountain range in California. Some people have even reported seeing robed Lemurian citizens traveling through the mountains and visiting the town's shops. The diggers might have been attempting to reach the lost city through the hole. The mountain is also considered sacred to the First Nation tribe, Winnemem Wintu, indigenous to the area surrounding the McCloud River in Northern California. The people have a spiritual connection to the mountain and regard themselves as its watchers, because their tribe came out of the mountain thousands of years ago. The second theory regarding the hole is that the culprits were digging for Native American artifacts. This area has been rife with looting for many years, as artifacts can sell for a very high price. It is illegal to dig without a permit, resulting in fines of up to $20,000 and potential jailing for up to 1 year. Police explained that looters typically work at night and dig using the same pulley method seen with the hole. However, the Forest Service and Winnemem Wintu tribe do not believe it was looters. It is improbable any artifacts are in the area, since leaving items would disrespect the spirits and mountain. The Forest Service argued for the third theory: someone was mining for gold. There was a bit of gold found in the town's relative area during the gold rush era, so the offenders might have tried to find some. However, the location of the hole is unlikely to provide any gold because of its volcanic geology. Regardless of which theory you believe, the case is still unsolved. No one figured out who dug the hole, and the rangers were quick to fill it to prevent any accidents. Whether it was to find a lost continent, Native American artifacts, or gold, it seems that it will always remain a mystery. Ancient Mayan temples were giant loudspeakers. The history of the Americas is vast and incredible. Among extraordinary ancient civilizations are the Aztecs, the Incas, and the Mayan people. The architecture, art, and other cultural remnants of these ancient societies have intrigued archaeologists for centuries. Perhaps unsurprisingly, archaeologists have discovered another incredible aspect of the ancient Mayan civilization. They have found that some ancient Mayan temples were essentially giant loudspeakers that were used to disorient or captivate their audience, similar to the Hippogeum Haussaflini. For example, in the ancient Mayan city of Palenque, in present-day Mexico, archaeologists have found temples that may have served as a public address system that projected sounds or messages across a great distance, almost like a radio. The team who discovered these temples was led by Francisca Zalaquet, an archaeologist from the National Autonomous University of Mexico. They found that the temples projected voices and other sounds, like those similar to what come from musical instruments, incredibly well. This reflects what we know about ancient Mayan society. They held music in high regard and built many musical instruments like whistles, ocarinas, and other wind instruments. It's not known what the true use of these temples was for. They can only speculate with the evidence they have. Perhaps the temples served as stages for ancient performers and priests to project their songs or messages far and wide. The Mayan people were known to have held many festivities for things like births of nobles, conflict victories, ceremonies for deities, and celebrations for enthronement. These celebratory people may have used these temples for many different occasions. According to Zalaquet, The building and maintenance of the temples was rather methodical. We think there was an intentionality of the builders to use and modify its architecture for acoustic purposes, she stated. Similar to Hippogeum's Halsaflini, these ancient people used architecture to their advantage and were able to manipulate sound in various ways for various purposes. While it is still unknown whether the Mayan people intentionally built these temples for the sound effects or if they were created by accident, they no doubt took full advantage of its effects. Solar tornadoes captured on the sun's surface. Since the sun is so incredibly important to life on Earth, it is under constant surveillance by scientists, and because of this, you might think that surprising occurrences would be rare. But the invisible magnetic field that bends the charged gas and plasma around the sun has revealed some strange phenomenon. The Solar Dynamics Observatory, or SDO, is run by NASA and is used to capture high-definition images of the sun from space. The surface of the sun is always bending and twisting from the magnetic energy generated on its surface, but recently scientists have noticed an odd phenomenon that appears to be a gigantic solar tornado rotating across the surface. The plasma, which usually flares and spits from the surface with no apparent pattern, was rotating and spinning in a manner that greatly resembles how the debris and trash swirls in a tornado. This supports the theory that the field around the sun generates solar weather by creating unevenly heated and charged particles that cause currents and other examples of atmospheric variability. These solar tornadoes are not common. Only a few a year are recorded, but when they do occur, they are impressive to behold. In 2015, a gigantic plume of swirling superheated plasma raged across the surface of the sun for 40 hours, and every minute of it was recorded and analysed by the Solar Dynamics Observatory spacecraft technology. The temperature of the ultraviolet plasma peaked at over 2.8 million degrees Celsius. In 2014, one of these mammoth solar tornadoes spun so violently it spun off the surface of the sun and dissipated into space. One of the largest recorded solar tornadoes was documented in 2011 by the Solar Dynamics Observatory to be about 5 times the size of the Earth and spinning at a rate of 186,000 miles per hour. The solar flares travelled in a twisting, spiralling pattern up off the surface of the sun to about 200,000 kilometers into the solar atmosphere. Analysis of solar tornadoes is important because they are driven by the powerful magnetic field of the sun and usually occur at the same time as massive blasts of solar plasma called coronal mass ejections. It isn't known whether solar tornadoes trigger coronal mass ejections, only that they generally occur in conjunction with each other. But studying the solar tornadoes could likely give us a better understanding of the coronal mass ejections, which are known to disrupt our lives on planet Earth by interfering with GPS signals, radio communications, and power grids. The Solar Dynamics Observatory is part of a highly funded NASA initiative called Living with a Star that seeks to gain a greater understanding of our sun and the effects of solar variability and weather patterns on our planetary life through the study of such phenomena as these solar tornadoes. But what do you make of these recent discoveries? Be sure to let us know your thoughts in the comment section below and help us grow this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.